Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Sunday, March 14th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Yay! You guys know I love to be here, so glad. Lots of good stuff going on. Waiting for people just to fall in the door. Let's see here what we've got. Let me grab a couple stuff here. Yeah, so we're going to have a good night tonight. I've got several projects that I want to show you. I'm going to show you how to color African American skin, and I'm going to be using eyeshadow because a number of you have asked about that. So I'll get that done or worked on. And then of course you know that I'm going to work on several projects. You know I always cycle through stuff so that we have a variety of things that are going on. Okay, so let me look at my calendar here. Let me grab that. So the 16th, of course, we have the live color with Dawn. She and I will be working on the same picture at the same time. And so that ought to be a lot of fun. And we're going to get you a copy so you can work on that as well. We're all excited about doing that. I think that's going to be really interesting. And don't forget that I'm doing the same thing with Jeff Haney. And that'll be on a Thursday, March 25th. So it'll be interesting. Hi, Ronnie. It'll be interesting because he said that he, never colored any of his pieces, so that'll be fun. Okay, and of course on the 18th of March we have Ruth Sanderson coming in. I'm doing great, Ronnie. Thanks for asking. I have Ruth Sanderson coming in, so we're all excited about that. Yay! And I'm always working on getting fun guests here. Oh, and on the 23rd, of course, we have Melba Carter coming in. She's going to be talking about the acrylic paint and coloring and basics of, shading, stuff like that. Good stuff. Hey, Wanda. Oh my gosh, excuse me, as I cough in your ear. So there is a ton of stuff going on. Let's see. Yeah. And you can't see me, can you, ILene? No. Why? Why are you asking that question, Wanda? I can't see you. Why, are you up to something that you shouldn't be? Okay. All right. So, a lot of neat stuff going on. A lot of projects. Love you guys. And let me go ahead and get you switched around. Because you're face to face with... Oh. All right. So let me go ahead and get my camera situated. There we go. Yeah, still laughing. You're a troublemaker, Wanda. Hi, Maddie. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Zoom in. Zoom in. Well, I just had that going. I'll tell you. Zoom in. Annie's at it again. Zoom in. There we go. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. I'm early tonight. Who are you talking to? You see a dark skin tone coming? Oh, Ronnie, I can't pull anything over you, can I? All right. Oh, all right. Let's see what kind of trouble we can get into. So, first of all, I got some happy mail today. That's always fun. Hi, Pearl. Good to see you, sweetie. You grab some water. Zoom out. All right. So this came in the mail today, but there was not a name of who it's from. So whoever sent it, please fess up so I can thank you. This was on my wish list. Coloring Book Fantasy by Scott Howden, Howden. So we've got some neat pictures in this. Really nice stuff. All right. Lots of room to add things if we want. And welcome to the gallery who's watching but not in the room. Love you guys, absolutely. Good to see everybody. And feel free to comment anytime that you want if you're just watching and not in the room. There we go. Love this one. I think that one's pretty neat. Now the paper is the standard, thin stuff. So that's okay. We copy it over and print it out. Hi, Barbara. Welcome, Barbara. Come on in. So, Barbara, correct me if I'm wrong. Have you been in the room before? I think you have. So anyway, take a peek at this book that was given to us. Lots of cute stuff to do on this one. We don't bite. No, Barbara, they just pick on me. I love this one with the fairy sitting on the shoe. That'll be fun to do. Yeah, it's a cute little book. Oh, you sent the book today, Barbara? This book here you sent to me? Am I hearing you or seeing you correctly, Barbara, that you sent this book to the group? Look at that. Isn't that cool? All right, so we've got some really neat images to do here. Love this one. Absolutely gorgeous book, guys. I think you'll like it. And I sure can see black metallic on this. Isn't that cool? Hello, Sandra K. Isn't that a neat picture? Hi, Jennifer. I'll get back to the cover in a minute. So we'll have a lot of fun with this one. Really pretty. This is the cover pic. Oh, no, that's not the cover picture. Hi, Stephanie. And then this is the back page here that has all the images in the little mat, in the, in an index. Isn't that cool? I love it. So, Barbara Morgan, thank you so, so much. Hopefully you didn't fall out of the room. I saw you earlier. All right. So let me go ahead and put that on there because you know that I always like to put the name of the person that sent it. Whoop. Different pen. Barbara, thank you. And I mean, my gosh, only your second visit here and you already sent the group this present. Thank you so much. From Barbara Morgan. Yay. All right. Again, thank you. Thank you. So 3/14/21. The group is absolutely going to appreciate this, Barbara. And I just think that's something else. This is only your second visit here, and that you've already gifted us. Thank you. Very appreciative. All right, so it's called Coloring Fantasy. It's by Scott Howden, Howden. And it was on our wish list, my wish list on Amazon. And thank you to Barbara who sapped that off right to us. You guys know how grateful I am for your support. You guys are absolutely the best. All righty. You do realize, Barbara, that you now just cost everybody that's seeing this video money because they're going to want to run out and get it now. And by the way, this is volume 3. Make sure that you get the right one if this is the one that you like. And what I really like are the soft colors. Just beautiful. I can't wait to get into this. Okay. All right. Next thing, I'm going to be going and doing today a coloring on the Black Woman Coloring book. This particular book was from Lila. So she sent us this book. She's got to get in this room. Hi, Katie. So I'll be working on this. Yeah, the softer look does look magical. That's exactly right. All right. Okay, now I need to make you guys aware of something. This is posted in our group, and apparently there's a group called Color and Chicks, and it says, "Dear friends, please be careful with this seller thief on Amazon. She is using my name and selling other artists' works I couldn't recognize all. Not sure for all the images in them. I reported the seller to Amazon, waiting for a response. Copy the links." So apparently it's the color. Well, I don't know if it's the Color and Chicks group, but we need to. Oh, this is the picture. Okay, so be aware of that. Hi, Melissa. So just to let you know about that. Okay. All right. A lot of stuff going on tonight. Fun stuff. We're going to be fun. We're going to be fun. All right. I'm revisiting this. And by the way, guys, if you would please share this video, we've got our live events to your timeline, then people can come in and watch it. And for anybody that's new in this group, don't be shy about speaking up. Questions, comments. Hey, Brooke. This is an interactive group. Otherwise, I would just be doing video on YouTube. The whole point is you come in, we laugh, we chat, we color. As long as you're not laughing at me. Oh, okay. So, I was showing you this liquid pearls the other day. Lila and Jean each bought me a bottle of this stuff, so I'm playing around with it right now. And this is the stuff that you put on paper and see how it bumps up. Everybody see that? Yes, we are a very interactive group. So this is all bumped here. We even pray together if somebody needs it. That's right. All right. So I'm going to play around with this just a little bit. Zoom in. And what I decided that I was going to do is go ahead and outline the peacock rings. Now, it's going to look a little wonky in the beginning. And remember, if you make an application and you're not quite happy with it, you can go ahead and take a toothpick and change it up and push the stuff around. So excuse me if my hand is in the way for the moment. But I want to see what I can do with this stuff. So this is going to be quite dramatic. Yeah, Barbara, it really is great stuff. It's unfortunately it's a little pricey, but hey. And again, Barbara, thank you. Yeah, it comes in a lot of different colors. I think there's like, oh, I can't remember how big the set is. I'll have to look it up real quick and see. And again, Barbara, thank you so much for that book. That was so generous. And again, if you have to move the stuff around a little bit, you know, I just put my hand in what I just applied. We'll fix that. Oh, really, Jennifer? Yeah, Erie's books are great. I think I have Romantic Country. I'm looking to get that book as well. But what's a toothpick illustrator? What's that? There we go. Now, when you apply this stuff, you've got to give yourself a little bit of room to allow for any expansion if it splays out just a little bit. Oh, she dips the toothpicks in ink to draw the pictures. Okay, gotcha. Mortis, okay. Now, the neat thing is, as I'm doing, hopefully on camera, which I was not, all right, let me move back towards here. $900 toothpicks, wow. Now, you guys know that I'm all about adding to coloring pages, but you do it artistically and you do it not for the sake of adding stuff. And hopefully this doesn't turn out to be seemed like a good idea at the time. Okay. And again, you can take your toothpick and just scrape away whatever part you don't like and just push it around a little bit, because you have a window of opportunity to adjust what you've put on there. And the applicator on here is pretty good. Ah, all right, I gotta tap down some more. And so far I'm liking how this is turning out. And you know I would tell you. All right, let me shake this bottle a little more. Oh man, guys, that is so pretty. Zoom out. Let's take a look at that. Isn't that cool? And again, it's an artistic decision if you want to add, you know, this much decoration to it. I mean, the picture looked outstanding with just the little pearl drops, but I wanted to go ahead and really pop this. And again, this is after I sprayed the final piece with the Krylon. And then I put the dots on. And now I'm putting the outline on. And that tapping is just me tapping the stuff down towards the tip. Zoom in. Oops. All right, I'll fix that in a minute. Oh, okay, now the stuff is coming up. Whoa. All right, zoom in. Yeah, I've sprayed it into books. I just bend them backwards. Okay, so I got a really big blob here. Zoom in. So I want you to see how I'm going to correct that. Is I'm taking a toothpick and I'm scooping up the drops, and I'm going ahead and applying it elsewhere on the page. Yeah, I just, Jennifer, I just bend the book backwards. Now, I've got another glob right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and transfer it. See how I'm picking it up with my toothpick? Don't let an accident like that frustrate you. And guys, please share this broadcast to your timeline. And see, I'm just running my toothpick through these circles too, on these spots. Okay, so let me clean up this. I'm just using the side of my toothpick now just to pick that up. And normally where I would wipe it into my paper towel, if it were something like stickles, well, even stickles I would try and save as much as I could. I'm just going to go ahead and pick up as much as I can and transfer it to another spot. Everybody see how I'm correcting that? Zoom out. So right now I'm literally picking up that glob and moving it somewhere else as best I can. Everybody see how I recovered that from that spill? Okay, Maddie, what are you saying? You don't think so? What? Oh my gosh, I spray Krylon in my books all the time. I just back bend the book. What I do is I back bend the book and then I dangle the one page that I'm coloring on. So I put the front and the back cover together along with all the pages I'm not spraying, and I just dangle out the one page that I am going to spray. I do it all the time. Okay, so I think we recovered pretty well from that Bob spill. All right, let's try this again. There we go. So I must have had an air pocket in there, and then the big block came out. So Jennifer, do you see what I'm saying about what you do is you back bend the book, you touch the cover to the back, and you pull back all the pages as well, and then you just dangle down the page that you want to spray, and then you spray it. Okay, there we go. Not too shabby. This is why I do stuff like this on camera. Okay, zoom out, zoom out. So now I'm going to tap the back of the page. Remember I showed you that the other night? And what that does is settles any peaks. All right. Now, one last thing that I'm going to do on this, because I've taken it this far. Let's see if we can clean up that little. There we go. Now, this stuff forms a skin on top very quickly. So if you have any corrections to make, you need to be relatively prompt. Yeah, I did that spraying an ink house. I didn't want to tear out the pages because it's a book, the coloring book. So I just back bent it and let the one page dangle, and I sprayed it. Okay. So since I went this far with the liquid pearls, I'm going to now go ahead and add a few more of my small dots. And I'm adding them in between my pieces. That I just put the circles on. And by the way, for anybody new, if I miss a comment that you make, because it's hard for me to look at my comments and my coloring page at the same time, ask your question again or make your comment again, or somebody else can tell me. All right, everybody see how now I'm adding these little tiny dots now in between? I just thought at this point I've decorated it this much. But again, don't get stupid with your add-ons. You don't add for the sake of adding. Oh, I love it. Okay. And then I'm going to tap the back of the page a little bit. Just flick it with my finger or just tap it. And what that does is that any of those dots that have those little peaks on them, it settles them. Let's see here. And I think on one more thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add 2 dots on each little feather here. And I'm just going to carry the pattern out here. Zoom in. There you go. Now we got it covered. Zoom out. Zoom out. And again, I'm just going to tap the back. You don't have to worry about your peaks on smaller dots, more so on bigger ones. There you go. What do you think? Yay, nay? Let me grab some water while you're thinking about it. Again, guys, and don't be afraid to say if you don't like it. You know, it doesn't bother me at all. We all have different tastes. Frame it. Yeah, I like it. You run the risk, but hey. And by adding the dots at the top, we balanced it out. So we're good. All right. Okie dokie. Yeah, so Pearl says that she likes just the pearls and not the circles. Yeah. Katie wants to buy it. Yeah, I'm just airing it a little bit. Yeah, legally, Katie, I can't sell it to you. All right. Yeah, and if you like that the simplistic style of just the pearls, perfect. Okay. You guys know that I never, ever, ever mind comments. I can't possibly please everybody in this group. So I just show you how it's done, and then you can decide for yourself. Okay. And I'll bet you guys have never run into a broadcaster that's told you that. Okay. All right. So the line On the bottom of this didn't print out, so I'm going to go ahead and add it. You know that you guys know that I'm super big on adding things. I want you to custom color your pages. There we go. And that's why I do the pieces that I do. All right. So this book that was from Lila, where is Lila tonight? We need somebody to remind you guys to share. Don't forget to share. So this is out of the Black Women Adult Coloring book. Now, unfortunately, there are several other books that are named exactly like this one. Let me see if I can find my other one that I have, just to show you the difference. I just had this out. I just had it out. There we go. Zoom out. Okay. So this is the other book that's available, Black Women Adult. This says Adults Coloring Book. This says Black Women Adult Coloring Book. So if you're interested in this, you got to be careful and you need to know which cover is which. I've got both because I want to show you guys skin tone. I bought this one for the group myself. Yeah, I love this one. And I think that this book, these two books, have a beautiful representation of the African American woman. And I also like that it also has women that are a little heavier. See that? Isn't that cool? So it's pretty neat. Two of your books received today. The pages were bent and the binding torn up. Can you flatten them out, Katie? Okay. Hi, Stella. Okay. So we're going to work on coloring this young lady. Oh, Julie, I use markers all the time. Ronnie, thank you for reminding people to share this group. Oh, yeah, and the Ruth Sanderson event. And don't forget, we've got Dawn coming in. That's going to be a hoot with the two of us coloring. Welcome, Stella. So you had a color missing from your Sharpies order. Okay, Julie. Hi, Julie. You've seen me using pencils. Yep, I use markers all the time and with my pencils. All you have to do is all of these live broadcasts, go to video, and all you have to do is type in the words, keywords, markers. That's right, they will bleed through. Barbara, you use markers more than pencils. Well, we're going to have to help you with that. Okay, so let's look at eyeshadow as a color for your coloring pages. Oh, okay, Julie. Yeah, every single live goes to video. So Julie, Miss Julie in the room, just you got to type these two words, keywords, and then type in markers, and that'll show you videos that I've used markers. I try to put that keyword in all the time. And Julie, welcome. I'm just so glad you can make it. Okay. So just in case any of you didn't know, yeah, that duet coloring is going to be fun. And don't forget Jeff Haney and I are going to be doing the duet coloring. We'll mess with him. He's fun. All right. If any of you didn't realize, your eyeshadow makes for wonderful coloring. Oop. And again, for anybody new, don't be shy about speaking up. That's why I'm here. All right. So I'm going to go ahead. Has anyone ever thought about using their eyeshadow as a base color for skin? That's my question. My sound just went really soft. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this is the simple eyeshadow. It doesn't matter what the what the brand is. I bought these off of Amazon on sale. And you can apply them one of two ways. Is with your finger. And you can also apply them with a sponge tip applicator. You know that I love my sponge tips. And the reason I really like the sponge tips with the eyeshadow is that it really pushes it, and a little bit of eye makeup goes a long way. So that little bit now that I've put on the page, look how far that's going. Now, I know a lot of you have been having problems coloring darker skin. And guys, all it is just using a darker hue. And again, remember that a little goes a long way. So when you're applying your new batch of color, apply it in a lighter area that you haven't colored yet, and then spread it in. And you've got to make very, very sure that your colors are not splotchy and that you don't have any lighter areas showing up. Now, if you have any splotchy areas, that's where I'm going to go ahead and use my finger. Because sometimes your applicator, depending on what it is, may splotch. So that's the only potential drawback to your applicator, is it's splotching. And you want to make sure that you get a nice rich covering. And just put on as many layers as you need. Now, you'll notice that I'm already working around the edges a little bit. Because that's where our darker shade is going to be. Okay. Oh, reminds you of honey? Yeah. Oh, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. Now, and again, this is just my initial layer right now. So I'm going to now use my sponge, same color. Find my paper towel. And let's see, we'll do the chest area. And you can go on Amazon, guys, and get just brown shades, brown eyeshadow shades. And you want to be sure that the first ingredient in there is mica. And don't worry about the uneven shades right now. We're going to work on all that. We're just getting our base color in. Will any eyeshadow work? Why's what, Ronnie? Guys, do me a favor. When you ask me a question, give me a contextual reference. For example, I think Ronnie's asking about mica. Just say, Ronnie, when you ask your question, just say, why mica? Just so I know what you're referring to. Okay. Because mica has the ability to adhere better, if that was your question. Yeah. Okay. The colors are richer and it adheres better. Now, again, don't worry about the streaking. I'll take care of that. Zoom out. I think I'm out all the way. All right. Look how gorgeous that looks, guys. All right. I'm going to let you look at my color selection a minute. That set's probably 2 years old. Now, yes, you can spray fixative on this stuff. I forgot to spray my page. Wanda hasn't asked me that question yet. She always does. Let that dry for a second, and I'll turn my fan on. Okay. So now we're going to go a little darker shade, because now we want to get the shadows. Let me grab a little water. All right, so now I'm going to take a darker shade, and I'm going to apply that around the edge. I'm applying it with my makeup applicator because I can make a thinner line with it. And then I'm going ahead and I'm blending it in. Now remember, when you are doing your skin tones, that you're going to be lighter in the center and then your shadow towards the outside, right? Everybody see now how that's getting a really pretty shape to it. Anybody have any questions so far? There is absolutely no difference here in doing a whiter skin tone than an African American. It's just different colors, period. Everybody see how beautifully now that's coming together? Now, I could have done this with my chalks. But I definitely wanted to show you the makeup. You guys have gotten so quiet. So I'm going to put a little bit on by the nose, get that depth, on the inside of the eye. And does everybody see why I wasn't worried about how that initial color went down? Because I knew I'd be putting my second color. What's going on with Lila, Ronnie? Is she okay? Yeah, I checked on her too and I hadn't heard back. Her sister's funeral might have been today. I don't know. Now, I want you to notice how beautifully this eyeshadow blends, of course, because when you put it on your own skin, they blend into each other beautifully. Well, I'm just guessing, Ronnie, that might be it. I have no idea when her sister's funeral was or is. See, guys, when you're part of this group, we check on you. Okay. Well, I want to honor the skin tone. I don't want it to look orangey. And I could go darker still. All right. Now, the neat thing about eyeshadow, yeah, she needs her family right now. Okay, so the neat thing with eyeshadow, as I started to say, is it erases beautifully. So that's why I wasn't concerned with going outside of the lines. Now, obviously, I kept in them as much as I could, but I don't want anybody having any heebie-jeebies about doing skin. It's not hard. So now I'm just going ahead and doing some cleanup. And that's the thing, guys, is with eyeshadow, you have, and again, in doing darker skin, you have so many options. And again, just buy a palette that's got the browns in it. Now, if you can avoid getting your eyeshadow outside of your lines, of course, do so, because it's still going to leave a little bit of a residual, especially the darker brown. I've got like 98% of it off. All right, and let me get this area up here. And for anybody else that hasn't commented that's watching, tell me what you think. Okay. Now, if you have an area that's a little bit darker where you didn't intend it, like right here, I'm going to go ahead and erase a little bit, and then I'm just going to go ahead and reblend. Okay. And the other thing I want you to notice too is that with this eyeshadow, it leaves different facets of color on the face. So it looks like natural face, right? Now, I'm not going to worry about erasing out the eyebrows. Have fun with your crayons, yeah. Julie, I've done a majority of a picture in eyeshadow, even small, tight places. But there are just some areas that are just so small, you can't. Okay, so I'm going back and I'm repairing this area here. That I erased. I just realized I didn't color her ear. Oh, that's funny. Okay. We will fix that. Now, the other neat thing too is with the eyeshadow, you can continuously adjust. Now, see that little skin right there, that little rounded area that I just did by the eyebrow? That looks natural. And right now I'm using the tip of my sponge to just get into these small areas. So I can do around the ring. Yeah, I know I didn't. Wanda, get with the program. Oh, that's pretty bad that I found it first. Yeah, I figure you're just coloring away and didn't notice. Okay. So let me go back to my original brown. That gnome was so pretty that you posted. Now, if you have teeny tiny areas that you need to get into, guys, by the way, you can take a Q-tip, a pointy Q-tip, and put a little makeup on there, eyeshadow, and get into that small area. In fact, I'll do that. I've got Q-tips that have pointy ends on them. see here. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Every once in a while. All right. So what I want to show you here is I'm going to erase out where this hair is. And then I'm going to show you how I put a little bit of eyeshadow on the tip of my Q-tip. And I just go through and I literally just paint with that Q-tip around that hair. And don't worry about the little crumblies that fall on the page. All you have to do is just brush them away. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and darken up the edges of the skin on the ear. And again, I'm using my Q-tip. Not hard, Barbara, really. You can do this. Just watch what I'm doing, ask questions. Isn't that cool? Okay. I'm sorry you're not feeling good, Pearl. Okay. Well, Barbara, I use different mediums, as you know. And I think that eyeshadow is one of the best for skin tones, as you can see. All right, now I'm just cleaning up just a little bit more. Hello, Ashley. And then one of the other things that you can do, where have you been, girl? Is you can take your blender pencil and you can blend over any weird areas with it on top of the makeup. Just make sure you do it very, very lightly, because it can potentially potentially leave marks. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. So let me clean this off. All right, so one of the things I'm going to do a little differently is with the hair is I'm going to work with some browns and some blacks. So I'm going to take some brown eyeshadow and I'm going to go ahead and put different shades of it in the hair. So I've got light browns and golds. Haven't put in any blacks yet. Now, don't go crazy with your dark shades yet. Standing room only if I was doing it. Well, thank you. But you guys get to see me every night, though. Okay. All right, excuse my arm. Well, this is the next best thing to coloring camp, right? Look at it this way. I'd be in front of the room wearing a headset, right? Let's think this through, guys. Oh, my. Now, if you want to, you can take a paper towel or a baby wipe or an iPad, a little of those iPad makeup applicators, which I found out are not useful to me because I have bigger hands. Those are those little pads, you know, those little pads that you can buy. So I don't use them a lot. So I'll use them up, but I won't buy them again. Okay. So now I'm adding a nice healthy brown to the hair. And again, I'm adding shades. So I've got a lighter brown and a darker brown. You'll see what I'm going to be doing in a minute. Good night, Miss Pearl. Now, notice you're checking on venues. Hawaii, Puerto Rico, Guatemala. Now, I'm using the tip of my swab here to get into my narrow areas. So where this hair is really skinny, I'm just using the tip. So yeah, you can get into small spots. All right. Beach and Big Hats coloring. Cool. Ordering margaritas. And again, guys, notice how I was able to get into small areas with just the tip of my applicator. And why am I using different shades of brown in the hair? What's our special D word? Now, you would be surprised how accurate you can be with the edges of these applicators. Again, I'm pointing it straight up and down. Dimension, that's right. No more flat coloring, guys. And what do I always say? Even if your eyes don't see it, your brain will. Now notice I'm coloring this one strand of hair the darker brown by using the edge of my applicator. See how accurately I can do that? And then I'm going back and using my lighter brown. But wait, there's more. And when you put that dark brown down and then come back with that lighter brown on top of it, that's where that's looking really cool. And it's kind of silly of me to erase that hair earlier off the face. Oh well. Zoom out. Zoom out. Now notice I'm also using the darker brown on various strands of the hair, specifically on the outer strand. And what that does is that encloses where the head is in the hair. Alright, so I'm going to brush that off. I'm going to use a little bit of paper towel just to push in any loose. I missed a strand of hair. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to use my eraser. We've got some beads in the hair that I accidentally covered up as well. So let's go ahead and get that. I think that's it. If I missed any more beads, Wanda can tell me. Okay. Now again, I'm just using the end of my swab to get to that little area right next to the bead. I'm telling you, you can be super accurate with that end. Okay, little hair down here. And then again, just a quick rub with my paper towel just for anything that's loose and flying around. All right. So there we are so far. Does anybody have any questions so far about coloring African American women, black women? Okay, and then what I like to do, if you have any questions, you gotta speak up. hand. I noticed I just missed her hand too. Okay. Barbara, you still hanging in with us? Alright, see how I'm getting right up to the edge right there with my tip? No, I haven't done a tutorial on elderly people. Alright, so let's get a hand. Colored as well. There we go. And I'm just going to erase around that edge. Okay, Barbara's still with me. All right. Okay, and again, I've got a little white spot, so tip of my sponge. And then I'm going to just put a little bit of my darker color on. And we'll go ahead and edge that in. And again, guys, the main thing I want to make sure is that, as with any race that I color, Asian, white, black, African American, whatever, that you honor who you're coloring. Okay, so I'm just going to put a little bit of a shadow. Okay, the shadow is there because that's the end of that palm. There we go. See that? Artist didn't put that in, I put it in. All right. Oh my gosh, I missed this tiny piece of hair too. Okay. I'll get that little guy. All right. So far, so good. We are doing okay. All right. Now, I'm going to put my eyeshadow away for a moment till I find another spot I missed, and then I'll have to grab it again. Everybody clear on the eyeshadows and what I told you about that? like I said, this set I have is like 2 years old. Works beautifully. I love it. I'm not willing to struggle with pencils with skin. Well, let me take that back. That's not really true at all. I've done skin with pencils when there's smaller areas, but when you have larger areas like that, the eyeshadow works beautifully. Okay. Now, I'm taking my Shuttle Art black, zoom in. It's not going to do that. Zoom in. Isn't that crazy? It wasn't working before, now it is. It does that. And just in case you were wondering, hold on, camera adjustment. Just in case you were wondering what I was going to do about the hair, because African American hair is black, I am now taking my black pencil I'm going darker on the outside to keep the integrity of the cornrows. And then I'm lightly going over the top and smoothing all that out. And remember to turn your pencil while you're doing this. So the cornrows and the braids are still going to show up. And I'm going to use my finger because you want that smooth, right? All right, I'm looking for something. Let's see here. Now, what this is doing is the hair is looking black, but we've got the shades of brown underneath. And that is giving it a, what's the D word? Dimensional effect, right? So what I'm doing is I'm outlining where the author has put in the hair braid, and then I'm very lightly going over the top of it. And then in the areas in between here, where the rows, where we have the braids laying next to each other, we're going nice and dark on that. Zoom out. Everybody see how that's looking? Now, in a couple spots here, I've gone ahead and I've taken a larger braid than what the author put in. Everybody see right here how I'm making the larger braid right here? It's got a line in it, but I want to open that up and still color it with the... Well, thank you, Barbara. Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Oh, get them in here. Zoom out. All right. Everybody see how that's looking really cool? All right. I got to look at something here. Give me a second, please. Okay. And what I want you guys to do, I don't know who in my group is African American, but what I want you to do is I want you to start looking at other people's hair. Now, if we wanted to make this lady a little older, I could maybe add a little gray. Although really it's not quite the right facial features. But when you color, you'll start to notice colors as you go out and about. And I guarantee you, if you walk up behind an African American lady and look closely at her hair, you are going to see beautiful shades of color in there. But the big thing I want you to see is this texture. Okay, who's picking on me now? Hey, Karen. I missed some braids. Oh my gosh, did I really? Did I miss it with the black? What did I miss it with? Black or the brown? Zoom in. Oh, you're just joshing me now, aren't you? Okay. So, let's play right here. Everybody see now? Oh, it was a joke. Yeah, Ronnie, yeah, your husband, look at his hair. Look at the hair colors and texture of your kids. Your husband's African American. See, when you look at him now, he's going to think that you're looking at him with loving eyes when in fact you're looking at him for coloring ideas. Oh my gosh, excuse me, I just made a joke. Don't tell him that though. Say, oh honey, I love your hair. I am bad. I am bad to the bone. Zoom in. Okay, now I'm gonna zoom here. Now see, I'm going around the little nodules here. And if I miss a couple, that's fine. And then I'm very, very lightly coloring over now with my black pencil. Okay? Oh, your grandkids? Barbara, your grandkids are mixed race? Nehemiah wants to know what's so funny. Tell him you love his hair. Now, again, I'm not, like I said, I'm not coloring in every single line that the artist put in for the braid. Sometimes I just skip a couple just to make the braid size different. I don't want you to go coloring dumb when you're coloring. You got to think about what you're doing. And this is where it's real important that you turn your pencil as you color. Oh, that's good, Barbara. Yeah, start looking at their hair, Barbara. My teacher told me to. Okay, see how I made this longer braid right here? Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay. Now, the other thing I want you to notice, and I'm going to do a section of this hair here. Because I want you to see this. And you did not hear that pencil snap. And guys, when you're doing this, I do not want you to get in a hurry. If you're tired of coloring the hair, move to something else. This is not the time to get impatient and say, oh, I just want to get this done. No. Oh man, could you guys imagine some of that white liquid pearl in her hair? Yeah, tell Nehemiah that Miss ILene enjoyed having him on camera last night. Oh my gosh, how long now? 8 years now? Barbara, I actually have 2 engineering degrees, and I also have a master's degree in adult education. So I really enjoy teaching. I've taught at the collegiate level. Okay. Did anybody make a comment on my liquid pearls comment in her hair? Wouldn't that be pretty? So you're turning your pencil as he's smiling. Okay. Can he hear me, Ronnie? Oh, you've got your earbuds on, right? So does everybody see now what the method to my madness was in putting that brown in the hair first? And the dimension now that we have in it? I mean, I'm in such the habit of turning my pencil, I do little micro turns, and I don't even think about it. When I lift up, boom, it's a little turn. Okay, you gave him an earbud. Hi, Nehemiah. How are you tonight? I was so glad to meet you the other night. And I'm so glad you told us about your teeth. That was pretty cool. I heard the tooth fairy was really good to you too. You must have been a good little boy. Okay. Michelle, hi. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you in ages. He's smiling. Give your grandma a hug for me. Okay, what I want you to see now is we've got a dark black area here right around the curvature of the hair. All right. Michelle, good grief. And I want you to see that I'm outlining here right now this head. Where the hair changes direction, so you can see this in here and this sweep here. And then what I'm doing is I'm literally shading now in that area. Zoom in. I don't know if you can see this, but it's going to turn out to be pretty dark, and that's okay because we're dealing with the black color here. And what I want you to see, guys, this is really important. The black shading, I'm not just running my pencil along this line. I'm coming out at a little bit of an angle. With my black spot and area. So it's going to look a little mushy, but what it's really doing is creating that distinguishing line between the head and then the hair that's going down the back. Does that make sense to everybody? Zoom out. Zoom out. Okay, if anybody has any questions about that, I literally am shading behind the head so that I can see the outline of this area here. And so what that means is as I'm doing the hair and the cornrows, I'm going to be doing the black a little bit lighter. Just like I did out here on the outside. So as I'm doing in between here on the cornrows, that black is going to be lighter, just like out here, than it is right here where I need to create that shadow. Now, unfortunately, the artist, let me see what they did here. So she created the lines here for the cornrows. And not so much for the other parts of the hair. She just came in with partial U's here from the side. Zoom in. So right here, I'm just pulling in the shading a little bit. And back here, where I've got this definite braid, is I'm following the braid lines. Just like I did before. Zoom out. Micro braids? Okay. And here again, let's see here. And here I'm just laying out the pattern. Okay, the scalp for cornrows, I gotcha. So these are micro braids and these are cornrows. Thank you, thank you. Now what I'm doing is I'm following the lead of the artist, but also on some of my hair, and you know I do this, is I'm putting in my own lines and shading. And I'm coming in very, very lightly, guys, with my black on top of the brown. Tinting. Remember all those discussions I had for you? You come in lightly with your color and then go back later and decide what you want to do with it. Do not come in gangbusters, and this is a perfect example, because if I'd come in way dark black, I would have lost my distinguishing difference between the two. Okay. So are you guys happy with the way I'm doing the representation of the hair? Ronnie says it looks awesome. Okay, good. Okay, and then I'm going to take my finger and go ahead and rub over the top of that. And you can see how beautifully, guys, that's coming out, isn't it? Okay. Now I'm going to do the hair in front here, coming down on the forehead lightly until I decide my final shade. And again, where that's going to be beneficial that you come in lighter is where the hair is pulled back, where the gold ring is woven into the hair, because we want to be able to shade that as well. Let's see, so this is the hair right here. Okay. Zoom in. So I'm going to shade that at the bottom. And it looks wonky right now because I haven't colored this hair right here in the braid. And then notice how I'm pulling the shade out. Okay, see that? So I'm coming out part way into the hair where I shaded here. Because anything where that scalp is, that's going to be naturally darker, right? All right. Now, this is really the first area where I'm doing unbraided hair. So I'm going to do it right now a very light black. I'm just tinting the area that I'm going to color. Your fairy is wearing a beautiful yellow gown. Good. Now I'm going to go ahead and use a slightly darker outline for where this hair is pulled back into the smaller ponytail. And I'm just outlining that now so I can see where everything is. And don't always feel obliged to finish an area where you are. So right now I'm going to leave this area right here sit where that ring is, because I want to do the hair now on either side of it, and that'll give me a lay of the land to how it's going to look. So I'll go ahead and darken where the cornrow is. And now you can see that by darkening on either side of it, it's pulling this up, and you're able to get a nice dimensional look on it. Zoom out. And then I'm going over my area in that very light black. Zoom out. Isn't that cool? What do you think so far? I need to get some water. Okay. So now we've got a really good representation around the top of the head, and this is where you can go back and darken in a little bit now if you want. And now it should also be making sense why I added that brown. I don't know, all our UK people are not here. So does it make sense now why I put that several shades of brown underneath and then the black on top of it? So what's happening here is, again, your brain is seeing that brown, and that's what's making for a really cool picture. Oh, Mother's Day in the UK. Yeah, you're right. Although it's what, 2 o'clock in the morning right now. Zoom in. All right. Now, a really neat way to do this coloring too is to color in little circles. Zoom in. But again, you don't want to be too dark, but you want to get that coverage. Yeah, that time change messes everybody up. If our darn politicians would get off their patooties and get rid of it. Okay, now one thing that's really showing up now is that white next to the black. So this is where you want to take your eyeshadow and make sure that you get rid of that. And if I can't get rid of that by blending, I'll get my eyeshadow out again and fix that. Everybody see that little bit of white? Oh no, Wanda. So make sure that that brown is pushed right up into the hair. And it's funny, I didn't even notice it until I was looking at it on my monitor. Ah, there we go. And then these little push streaks that I have now, I just need to circle blend them away. Okay, zoom out. All right, let me come down a little further on the micro blade. Micro braid. What did I say? Blade. Now, we've got two braids going on here. So, yeah, exactly, Ronnie. Until I looked in the monitor, I did not see that white. All right. And what I'm showing you here is I'm taking an extra heavy black line down in between these two braids because I want to show a separation here. And then I'm going to use a slightly lighter black on the outside and the curves of the braid. So in other words, that center black needs to be extra black, extra dark. And then I'm coloring over very lightly in my little circles. And then let's catch the very bottom of the bead. Excuse me for the sound. And then we can go ahead and shade in now all the way down the strands. Now, if you want to make a couple of the braids a little bit darker, that's fine. Depth, dimension, detail, right? And in fact, I'm going to make the hair going into the bead a little darker. There's a method to my madness, because when I go to color the beads, I want them to be particularly outstanding. So I'm going to go ahead and color up the hair black, completely black. I want that contrast in this case. Zoom out. Zoom out. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? Questions, comments, suggestions? And same on this side. I want that hair completely black. Okay, Barbara. Cool. I would love to see your version of this. There you go, guys. And while I'm here, let me go ahead and color the eyebrows. I've got 10 more minutes to go. Oh, that's cool about the Ohuhu sale. Zoom out. This is the book. There's two of them with the same title. This is the one with the picture that I'm working out of. And there's another one called Black Women Adults Coloring Book, which I also think is very respectful. But this is the book I'm coloring out of, Ashley. Okay. So let me work on the eyebrows, and then I think I'll call it an evening. Zoom in. So here's a good example of when I tell you to tint. I'm going to color the eyebrows a very, very light black until I know exactly what I want to do. Oh, the set of 200 on the Ohuhus that are in the skin tone set, so you don't need both except if you want the brush end on the skin tones. Okay. So on the eyebrows, I want the outside just a little darker and the insides a tad lighter. Trust me, it makes a difference. Don't do it just jet black. What on and off, Sherry? I'm sorry, what's going on, sweetie? Okay, so outside very dark. inside is just, good night, Sherry. The inside is just a hair shade lighter, so you don't have two black splotches over the eyes. I hope you can see the difference in the eyebrows. There we go, so far. Alright, I still have one little area I'm not super happy with. Well, when my two African American ladies in the room tell me that it's looking good, I thank you. I'll take the compliment. So I've got a little bit of a splotch here. So I'm just going to take my eraser and get rid of that. Oh, Michelle, that's wonderful. Yeah, Tuesday's going to be a hoot with Dawn. And you can make it for Ruth Sanderson. Please share the event on your timelines, guys. And then I'll fix that light spot that I just made. But I had a dark brown line coming through here, and then I'll fix that. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a streak here. Zoom out. There we go. Except for this white splotch in the center where I just erased. I got to fix that with my eyeshadow. So there, ladies and gentlemen, if we have any gentlemen watching, this is how you color an African American lady. And then we'll play around with the clothing. And I'll fix that center part where I just erased. Anybody have any questions or comments? Not hard. Not hard at all. If I were doing this myself without teaching it, it wouldn't take me that long at all. And now you know how to use the eyeshadow to get some beautiful African American skin tones. And you can go to Amazon and just get tan shades, and there you are with all your shades that you need. And now you know why I put brown underneath the hair. Look at the dimension on that hair, guys. And you guys are most welcome. I hope you learned something. All right, I'll be coloring on this tomorrow night then. And we'll have some more fun with it. All right, love you guys. Hope you learned something. Hope you had fun. Hope you relaxed. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. This is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. I will see you tomorrow night. Oh my gosh, I got a little spot that I just noticed when I zoomed in. There we go. I fixed it. All right, guys, take care. Love you guys. Bye.